This is your NCL Aqua bottom-up ship tour in about 15 minutes or less. Let's go check out the whole ship. That's what's next. And we are starting in the front of the ship on deck 6. Below us is deck 4. That's where you get on and off the ship for tenders. Deck 5 is all rooms, so we're skipping that, and we'll be skipping all the other floors with just rooms. And we're gonna make our way to the most exciting parts that are on the top of the ship. And those, you gotta stick with me because we've done them all and they're amazing. But this is the Aqua Theater, and this is where you enter for that. You'll have to check that out. We'll try to get some clips of it later, but they're doing a meeting for the crew. So moving on, by every one of the elevators, there's going to be touch screens like this. Whatever you need to find is on here. On the other side, more information about what's going on each day. Now, also on deck 6 is the casino, which of course, while people are playing, you can't film. Now, of course, you have the players clubs, you have all your slot machines, craps, all the table games you want, and even live poker or poker tournaments. But as you leave the casino towards mid-deck, you will get the Improv Comedy Club, which right now is set up for an auction. But later tonight, it will be full of comedians and people laughing and having a good damn time. And there's your bar right over there. As you leave the casino on the other side, you will run into the whiskey bar. This is Hazuki, which is what Teppanyaki been changed to, and this is going to be your hibachi grill. Now, if you're expecting them to do fire, they can't do that on a cruise ship, but they do everything else and they entertain you quite well. I recommend always coming here. You will eat so much food you want to die. On the other side of the ship is the Commodore room, which is going to be one of your main dining rooms. And this is a complimentary dining room right here, so you can come eat anytime you'd like, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. These are gonna be all your standard dishes that come with the cruise. And then that brings you into Swirl, the wine bar, which is like another lounge. Get you some wine before your dinner. Of course, in the front, you end up with this lobby, which is your Haven elevators. And they're gonna have these on every single deck, top to bottom. But now we're heading up to floor 7. Now, all the way in the back of the ship, you will find Hudson's, which is another complimentary restaurant. And you can have these 270-degree views of the back of the ship and the back wake. When you come out of Hudson's, you're gonna be entering into more restaurants like Nami. This is gonna be your sushi. And then you have Le Bistro's over here, which is going to be your French restaurant, which we never eat at. We're not really foodies. This here is your Metropolitan bar. Get kind of toasty and warmed up for your meal. It's better than just standing in lines. After this, you have Cagley's Steakhouse, which of course on NCL is one of their most famous restaurant steakhouses. So if you're in a steak and kind of American made, the filet mignon was fantastic at medium. Now, one of the places that confuses everybody is the Humidor Cigar Lounge. You can only smoke cigars in here, and you can also make purchases of cigars here. So if you didn't bring one with you, from here on out, we're heading into the shops. And something I found out on this ship is the inaugural season. We have a collector ship, which we bought too. And then of course, you can still pick up your regular ship on board. Welcome to Sid Norman's Poorhouse. Now, if you're an NCL cruiser, you're gonna know about the Sid Norman Poorhouse. Me and Chelsea hung out in one of these the first time we were on board. Now on deck 7, this is kind of where you enter the ship at, but this is their main atrium area, or whatever you wanna call it. 3 floors heading back from the casino downstairs, all the way up to deck 8, which is where we're headed to next. Also, if you're on deck 7, all the way in the front of the ship, you have the Aqua Theater and Nightclub. Again, this is another extra entrance to the upper deck of the theater. So once you get to deck 8, you're going to have interior and exterior. So we're gonna do the interior first, which is more shops, if you're looking to spend money. And on this far end is the Belvedere Bar, and this is where we got our very first drink on the ship. From here, you got Onda, which I'm not even sure what it is, and we haven't been to yet, so that's gonna be another one of your paid restaurants. Now, for the first time ever, when we were on the private island yesterday, we booked a professional photographer to come out and do some shots for us, and this is their studio, if you want to book one of them. Now we're into the art collections, which I don't know who's buying art on a cruise ship. More power to you. Not for us. But we're gonna head through the photo gallery. And if you wanted to pick up something like a GoPro or a camera or binoculars, it's tax-free on the ship, so that's a good thing. On the inside is also Local, which used to be O'Sheehan's on this cruise ship. They have changed it to Local. And I can tell you that Local is your 24-hour eatery where you can get burgers and wings and simple stuff like that 24 hours a day. This is your place if you're gonna wanna come down for a midnight snack, or you just don't wanna mess with any of the other restaurants. But When you get to this part of the ship, there's something completely new on Norwegian. They have like 5 different restaurants that serve 5 different meals. A Texas smokehouse with pork sandwiches. And when I first saw this, I actually thought it said nudes, but it says noodles, just desserts. So it's like a big food court, but what they allow you to do is actually use an iPad to order from wherever you want out of the 6 or 7 locations in here. And once you order, they bring all your food to the table. One mistake we did find is we ordered our drinks and they never kind of came, but all the food did. The food was great. We had a couple of different things from a couple of different places, trying everything out. It just gives you some different options that I've never seen on any cruise line yet, which leads you to the outdoors of this deck. Of course, there's a bar on the back. And if you're coming on a cruise, at one point, every time, you have to come back to the rear of the ship and see the wake. So this is a very quiet place with your own bar and your food right here. It does do a breakfast. And then once lunch starts, then you can order all the different things. Now we're heading down the side of the ship, which you can see their outdoor section is like really away, maybe 20, 30 feet extended out from the side where the cabins are with the balconies. And Chelsea has found her favorite spot, which is these pools. Now, of course, on the walkway, you can walk on this glass walkway, which is kind of creepy because you could fall, I don't know, what is that, 60 feet? If you want a little adrenaline rush, come stand on this.
Oh God, you scared me. Holy crap. Hi, Jess.
Found you. See, when I'm doing all this hard work of making tours for you guys, she's just sit back relaxing. This is my fun. So that's about as close as you can get to the front of the ship on this section. So it's kind of no view, but it's a neat little spot. And everything down this side of the ship is going to be identical to the other side. So take your pick, port or starboard. This is your outdoor seating for Los Lobos, which is the Mexican restaurant. We're gonna talk about this in a few minutes, but that is the slide that goes from that 17th floor all the way down to the 8th floor. And this is where it comes out at. So if you need a quick way to get down here, there you go. And that's pretty much everything to see, including the infinity pools on this side of the ship. And now we're gonna be heading upwards, skipping a few decks. See, the infinity pool people are happy. See, everybody's happy in an infinity pool. Now we're gonna skip 9 through 15 because as you can see, it's just medical center. If you're interested in the teen lounge, Splash Academy, studio lounges, and Haven Suites, that's where they all are at. And now we're on 16, and we're gonna show you a couple of things up here, like the entrance to the Havens. And while we're cutting through here, Norwegian has changed up their carpet, and there's no more fishies. But if you look, and green, blue, telling you that way's forward for the front of the ship. This is your entrance to the spa and salon. And if you make your way through the spa, you will head over to Pulse, which is the gym. I ain't doing none of that. And that is it for deck 16. Now, if you're ready, we are heading up to 17, 18, 19, 20. And these are the best, most exciting decks on the whole ship. If you're looking for fun and adventure, this is where you gotta be. Now, starting on 17 in the front of the ship is the game zone, which is gonna be all your 3D entertainment and gaming systems and all that. That's where you can set your kids loose and have a ball. Now, if you want a quiet place to relax, this is the observation lounge. And of course, it has a bar and some snacks and different things like that. So if you want to come hang out in here, you have the perfect place to hang out. Which leads you to one of the most important places on the whole ship for most people. It's the pool deck. You got a spot right here to grab your towels, check them out, check them in. And you have a couple of jacuzzis and your main pool right here in the center of the ship with the bar. Off the main pool is your Surfside Cafe, which is going to be your main buffet. On the opposite side of the Surfside Cafe, they're going to have 2 more of your restaurants, Hamar and Sukata. Then when you come to the elevator shaft in the rear, this is where you're heading into the Vibe Beach Club, but it's also a secret entrance to upstairs. This is the Vibe Beach Club where you'll be entering, but you can sneak up because we got a lot more stuff to check out on the next floor. If you're into darts, you got a bar and a whole nother set of dart boards. And what is really cool about this is when you're playing, it actually registers all your scores for you. So if you're not even sure how to play, you're good. That is the Vibe Beach Club with their own bar and pool in the back and a couple of jacuzzis. This is the game zone, foosball. A little shuffleboard. Now we're not done, guys. This is the stadium, $5. You can play a round of golf. There's 12 holes throughout different countries. Show you some of this now. It's my special ball. And then you gotta put your ball on that blue dot.
Ooh, there's lights down here.
Yeah, it says your ball, because it has to register your ball, so it'll put your name up on the board. Good shot. And I won 685 to 655. That was close.
I got 45 on that last
Yeah.
one.
I don't believe that these scores are even humanly possible. But when you got a name like that, it's probably obvious. And that is golf on the Aqua.
Super fun.
And then head upstairs. Here is your pickleball. And this is your aqua coaster that a bunch of you are probably curious about. Now I'm gonna cheat a little bit and tell you that if you go to the other upper decks, I'm gonna show you now. There's 2 seating areas before you get to the Haven rooms. And you can sit up on that deck or the deck below that. It's just seating and sun decks, nothing more. They should be getting ready to open the aqua coaster right now, but I'll show you what it looks like from the aqua coaster. Now we're gonna head up to the highest floor, which has a little seating area, and the glow court, which you can do different things in if you want some entertainment. It's supposed to light up and you can play like soccer and basketball and a bunch of different things. Seems like it could be something fun. There's scoreboards, global leaders. So if you're into trying to score high points, I don't know what the games are, come put your name in, see if you can get on the boards. And this is an even better view of the vibe in the rear. So no more racetrack, aqua slide instead. And this is the NCL Aqua, your bottom to top ship tour. Now that we're at the top, there's nothing else to talk about. Stick with us, hit the subscribe button, do all those fun things, and we will see you when we find out what's next.